Okay, so we have some things we have to accomplish. This is one. That's
I deserve this. I deserve this sip.
There's a lot.
We have a quorum of beverages. That's item one. Item two is we need to discuss terms for the podcast today. This is a very serious matter. However, I think that maybe even that can wait. Come on. I'm working so hard for this bit, guys.
Walking around the barn a few times.
It's gonna be worth it though. Okay. Okay. Got it. I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm ready for it.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city ever knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, and if any man alive possessed the knowledge, may that truly be said of us and all of us. And as Tiny Tim observed, I find you funny, smart, and I find you funny, smart, and surprisingly funky, which is a rare combination. You have absconded with my heart. I know we don't have hot wings or hockey here like they do in Buffalo, but we have cricket and we have shrimp quiches.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Podlander, Drunkcast, and Outlander podcast. I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
That's Janine.
I don't know what's going on.
Guys,
oh my God.
Guys, okay. Everyone. That was the end of the line.
You absconded with my heart.
You know what the spirits did to Scrooge? They absconded with his greed.
You're right. They ran away with it. They sucked it right out of his ass.
They really did. They grabbed a hold of it firmly and thrust it away.
Tugged real hard.
Let's discuss terms of this conversation that we are having about a princess for Christmas.
Not
you know what's funny?
A Christmas princess or a princess of Christmas or a Princess Christmas.
But the Slack original is a Christmas for Princess, which I need you to know I attempted to say out loud, and instead the correct title came out. So just so you know, that was supposed to be me saying a Christmas for Princess, but really I said a Princess for Christmas, which is what it's actually called. It's a bad name either way. No, I take it back. A Christmas for Princess is a great name.
Yeah.
A princess for Christmas, not so much. Okay.
I wanted to be held in like the Roadhouse, and you just have babies screaming. You can't put baby in a corner without a Christmas tree.
See, that's funny on like 20 levels because the family in Dirty Dancing is 2,000% Jewish, Janine.
Oh yeah, extremely Jewish.
That's so masterstroke.
All right. Here's the thing. We forced ourselves to talk about Christmas at Pemberley Manor like it mattered. But there are differences here. First, we've learned lessons. Second, this movie absolutely matters. It's not good, but it is a hoot.
Yes.
And three, we cannot overstay our welcome here, because really the true gift that we're giving people who have not sat down to watch Sam Heughan's Hallmark Movie Channel classic, A Christmas for Princess.
A
Princess for Christmas.
Christmas Princess.
You really should. Not because it's good, but because it is fun as hell and free if you have a Netflix account. This is not a Christmas at Beverly Manor situation. We are not going to ask you to pay $2.99 or whatever the fuck they sell that movie for. You can watch it on IMDb TV for free through Amazon, or if you have Netflix, you can watch it through Netflix. And you know what? I had a gay old time.
All right, but we're talking about terms.
Yes, terms.
What are our terms?
I think maybe this is what I'm going to propose. First, opening arguments. We each get 4 minutes to defend whether or not this movie is great or the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand
That's
the
one.
rules of that one.
Then we move on past our 4 minutes, which you don't have to use the entire. You can always yield your time, but then you can also reclaim your time.
Okay.
Then we move on to the debate, where we discuss at length to be determined, the highs, lows, in betweens of a. Let me try a new one. Princess A Christmas 4.
Yeah.
That's that, and so on, and then closing arguments, where we each get 1 minute to sum up our arguments,
Okay.
and to say why we should be America's Next Drag Superstar.
4
So
minutes. 4 minutes.
4
to
minutes
start?
each, and then the
Freeform debate. Then we discuss.
Yeah, then the freeform debate is 20 minutes total.
I agree.
Awesome.
And then we each get 1 minute to sum it up.
Yes, closing arguments. And then I'll read the list of patrons. Spoiler. I'm gonna read the list of patrons really fast.
Okay.
All right. I call not dibs.
On what?
Going first.
What is my argument for the first half of this?
Whether this movie is great or the greatest.
Okay.
And then show supporting examples.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
And you've got 4 minutes. Are you ready?
Julie, are you going to keep time?
I've got it.
Great.
You got
Are
it?
you-
Okay.
Are
And
you
then
ready?
you'll have to keep time for us, Janine. Do your fucking
Got
job.
it.
Earn your keep.
Finally.
He's
Christmas
about
is
to, he's
here.
about to right now.
I'm going to,
got
Julie,
it.
I suggest you do the same. I'm going to mute so that I do not heckle him.
Okay. I promise not to heckle
Okay.
you.
I feel like part of the bit is you heckle me.
No, that comes
that's
in
later.
the debate part.
We're,
Oh,
They're
okay.
civilized rules.
So, oh, this is Oxford style.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which
my bad. I
which
won.
means 3 crumpets. I don't know Oxford style rules. Okay. Janine,
Neither does anyone in this movie.
I hereby call the great 2021 discussion of For a Princess Christmas to order. Janine, the floor is yours.
And start.
Thank you, distinguished chairperson. Thank you, distinguished committee. It is a pleasure to have the floor here to discuss why A Princess Christmas Mass is the greatest film we've ever seen. My first point of contention, point of arguments, my angle, is that we get to see Sam Heughan pre-Outlander, which means we're seeing pre-Sam, not Sam, pre-Sam as in his final form, but in his pre-Jamie form, where he is trying his very best to learn how to mug and do the Jamie looks. He knocks on a couple, and I think those scenes from this film were probably used in his reel to suggest that he would be a good Sam.
A good Jamie.
Jamie, the tomato. And what we found with this wonderful 2011 example of Sam Heughan's acting ability is that those casting directors took a wild bet that he would someday become a good actor. He is much better now, and I am so impressed with him because boy, oh boy, he was just a pretty face at this point. Which is not me like denigrating this film. It's more to say that one, I appreciate the man, the myth, the legend, and that this was a training ground of many occasions. Roger Moore was in this. I didn't realize that until after it stopped and someone said, "Hey, that was Roger Moore," and I went, "Oh fuck, what a fucking film!" What else was there? Milo sucked, which is a reason why. Because we could I don't know what I'm arguing here.
You said you're arguing for this movie being the greatest.
Yeah.
Refocus.
So, people of the floor at the committee and the chair people. It also had a lot of alliteration. There were so many lists that all used the same goddamn fucking letter. Like, I'm not very good at weaponry. Well, I'm good at the waltz. How about waltzing, right? Like, why would she use weaponry from Boston when not just talking about fucking bows and arrows.
It was Buffalo.
Might as well have been. And Buffalo makes it even worse. Have you ever been to Buffalo? Buffalo's not a fun city. That is a kind of a gross city, in fact.
But wings.
But wings.
Fine Pilsner beer. Oh, I guess she said a butt. Sorry.
She just said haze me. What? Huh? Heckle. Anyway, so where was I going with this?
It's the greatest in summation.
So in summation, summation, this film is the greatest because it's so absurd and it makes you realize rich people suck, but somehow we all dream to be them.
Ooh, that got deep there at the end.
I fucking hated this film so much. It was so funny.
Okay, so you have 24 seconds to spare.
I yield my time to the great gentle people of the chairs.
Okay.
The great gentle people of the chairs recognize the contributions of the noble sir of I have a rug on my Florington land.
Look at my Christmas tree.
It's very nice.
So pretty.
And also with you. May your days be holly and jolly and bright. Madam Starboard of the gentle chair to my right, would you like to proceed next and forthcoming so? And if it must be said, so it is. That's
nothing more. I would like nothing more.
Janine, gentle person Janine.
I got it.
You got you?
Okay.
Okie dokie.
I'm starting my timer now.
The floor
Gentle
recognizes.
people of the floor. A Princess for Christmas is a great movie. But it's not the movie that you think it is. This is a great example of a paranormal fright flick. It left me feeling a little bit like watching a 1970s John Cassavetes horror movie, in that the dread is always palpable, that around the corner, another fucking cliche is gonna spin around and knock my head off my shoulders. And I think that happened at least 3 times. So I need to give it to this film for fulfilling a role of horror movie in my mind. Now let's talk about the general conceit of the horror movie and why it makes this movie great. There's a clown in the bedroom. And we could all tell from the beginning that that little girl, I didn't even take the time to know her name because I knew that if I said her name more than 3 times, she would appear.
It's Maddie.
We all knew, I can't hear you. We all knew that this girl, from the very beginning of the film, this girl has a deeper eldritch connection. And I think we could all feel that. Then she goes to fucking Pembalé and she achieves her final form, which is melding with that demonic clown. You can see how she mind controlled every single person in this movie. No one more effectively than mind controlling her grandfather, played by Roger Moore, who I will now refer to as G-Paw Bond. G-Paw Bond, a savvy, hard man, was immediately reduced to nothing but jellied grandpa rubble by this child. And throughout this entire film, we saw nothing but the results of her demonic mind control and machinations. And I feel like I too was possessed because I can't believe I watched the whole thing. And it feels like it was part of her plan. And maybe the clown's plan. I rest my case. I yield my time.
How much time are you yielding, Madam Starboard of the gentle?
1 minute and of the Pratt Boulevard. I am yielding 1 minute and 20 seconds.
That was a very
the
concise
people
argument.
of the floor and sundry recognize the time demolition static of Madam Starboard of the Pratt Boulevard gentle chair. we will now proceed to the third of our opening arguments, which comes from Madam Shoemaker of the dining room Officeton, who is me. Julie,
That was
would you
good.
time me, please?
Yes.
For Christmas, A Princess is the greatest film of all time. And I will tell you why. In this essay, I will tell you why. Because the land of cinema is vast. There are highs, there are lows. But in each genre, in each of the many valuable genres that exist in global, international cinema, there must be one film that dares to push upon the borders of its genre to evolve it to the next stage. There have been many such films. The Jazz Singer, pushing boundaries of both sound and blackface. Incredible / terrible. Porque no los dos. There are there is your Texas Chainsaw Massacres, which include Texas and chainsaws and massacres. I've never seen that movie.
Great and
thanks.
and
Night of the Living
terrible.
Dead, actually groundbreaking. Pretends that. And there are your Barbs and Stars goes to Vista Del Mars, where the simple buddy comedy becomes something more, something greater, something to be believed in. Such it is, and so it must be with A Christmas Princess 4, the Hallmark Movie Channel instant classic, which embraces the silliest and shallowest tropes of its genre while uncovering a bold new landscape of actually casting decent actors to play entertaining roles. It's an upstairs-downstairs story, if you will. In the upstairs, we have a pre-fame Sam Huon with a normal-sized neck. He just wants to fall in love, preferably with a with a commonplace matchstick girl from Buffalo, New York, who can identify and break antiques in the same breath. What a skill. You also have G-Pa Bond, who, if you didn't already realize that he once plays James Bond, they make sure to say, you're going to give 007 a role for his money. Or a run for his money.
I didn't pick up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Oh, it was
I
there.
missed all of that.
You have Lena
totally
Luthor of Supergirl fame doing her best. You know what? She's legitimately good in Supergirl. She's great. She launched a whole generation of little shippers who just really wanted her and Kara Zor-El to get together.
Oh,
That's
that was
Trina
her.
Graff. Yet downstairs, who do we have? But a treasure trove.
Winterbottom.
We have a treasure trove of bizarre yet delightful team players who, at the moment of climax, when the scene arrives where good must triumph over evil, the butler does not go to the lord of the manor and say, "Sir, I hate to speak out of turn, but I believe that we should purchase a ball gown for Miss What's-Her-Face from the place across the sea." And then where did this take place, by the way? We'll get there. And then,
Liechtenstein, I believe.
why were they singing
Yeah,
English Christmas
a
carols?
totally real place.
Anyway,
Lit-
Patty, I don't want to give up my time. Then,
No.
Then, instead, Paisley Winterbottom proceeds to G-Pa Bond and says, "Do you want some more tea?" And then goes off by himself to crowdfund.
Oh, the floor.
Time. You
uh,
must yield your
uh,
time.
But you
floor
yielded
chair
your time.
player,
I claim your
Shumi.
time.
He's lost.
Oh, okay.
I've not offered my 24.
I offer you my
I claim
minute
your
and
time.
20 seconds.
So
Aye.
then, Paisley Winterbottom proceeds to G-Pa Bond and says, "Would you like some tea, sir?" Because he doesn't need his money. He's going to go fund me a ball gown for the lady who was nice enough to pitch in the kitchen. She made her own damn cookies. She bought her own tree. She put it up herself. She respectfully asked for help in locating the Christmas ornaments because it's not her place to go digging around in a house that's not hers. But then she decorated it on her own with the help of a very tall, normal-necked Sam Huon. And then their days were merry and bright. But really, those servants come together. And do you know what finally gets Mrs. What's her name? Brisk?
Jules.
But Mrs.
Brisky?
No.
Belmont.
Mrs. Birch! Mrs. Birch!
The housekeeper?
Mrs.
Birch!
Birch.
There you go.
What finally
Nailed
releases Mrs. Birch from her prison of misery. Some of it self-imposed, some of it imposed by the rigid capitalistic system in which she exists, to say nothing of the outdated forms of nobility. What frees her? A confession of a great wrong done to her in her past. She got coal in her stocking. Not presents, but coal. And once she gets in touch with those emotions, suddenly she and the rest of the very sweet staff, who I may remind you, search feverishly to locate the decapitated head of a small doll.
It's all part of the plan.
Triumph. They save Christmas. And if you don't believe that Santa Claus is actually Paisley Winterbottom in a Santa suit, I don't know what to tell you. I rest my case. Thank you for your attendance, good chair people of the chairs.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye.
There you 2 seconds left. You really nailed that.
Wow.
I'm very brief.
The floor accommodates and accomplishes shoemaker's use of
Cheers.
timers.
Okay.
Timage.
So now it's time for the
Cheers.
all
All right,
skate.
so now we get 20 minutes for 20 minute all skate.
All skate.
Right? Hold on, G-Pop Bond's having to look at his smartphone.
I like how I know I'm starting before the 20 minutes, but I like how he was like, remind me how to hang a Christmas ornament again.
I've never done this before.
Well, he probably made his servants do it, which
That's
is leading
tracks.
into Allison's...
It would have been better if he had said, I want to hang
All
it
right, here we
myself,
go.
and then he took it and then immediately handed it to Paisley Winterbottom. Because that is
Yes.
That would have been good.
Okay. 20 minutes. Go. This movie was hilariously bad.
I can't
But here's the
believe we
thing.
spent
No,
time
I
doing
can't believe that we spent time doing Christmas
No,
at
it was
Pemberley
fun,
Manor.
though.
That's what I can't believe because here's the thing.
She's right.
My personal
Yeah.
belief is that when something that's like obviously not going to be great and wasn't intended to be great, nobody thought there was no for-year consideration campaign for Princess Christmas, which is what I grade it. I give it an A for Princess Christmas. Nobody thought this was going to be groundbreaking cinema at any point. But did they phone
Agreed.
it in? They did not. They did not.
Especially
They
not
really
the staff
didn't.
actors. You're right.
The staff was the only people in that
Oh
film
no,
knew
that
what
is
film
not
they were
true.
making.
Katie
No
McGrath
one
and
else
Sam Heughan
what
knew
fucking-
exactly what film they were in. If you've ever watched a Hallmark Christmas movie, they knew exactly what film they were in.
That's
Exactly.
true. That fucking dance sequence when they got funky.
Oh my God, that
Jesus
was the best moment.
Christ.
That
The
was
funky,
the
the
crowning
funky.
achievement of this
So,
movie.
and just a little bit funky.
The
Surprisingly funky.
Just a little surprisingly
But so
funky.
my personal belief is that in a situation like this where you're watching a movie where nobody's goal is high art, you can always tell when it was made by people who are at least having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that
They
set looked
really did shoot for
They
every
did.
single trope.
You
dude.
can tell the person
Yeah.
who wrote it was having fun. You can I mean they made it was 2011. No one was saying surprisingly funky. Someone wrote that line.
Rad wasn't
They-
a word we were using at
They
that
did.
time, and they included that.
They really went for it. They embraced the stupidity, and it seemed if you asked me to watch 15 movies in a row and say which ones the people had fun the people who were making them were actually having fun just together, like hanging out at craft services, I bet you I'd be accurate like 75% of the time, because you can just tell when people are fucking miserable. And they may not have
Christmas at
totally.
Pemberley Manor,
And
they
this
were
may
miserable.
not
They're
have
miserable.
been the best experience any of them ever had, but I promise you, they were going to the bar and getting drunk afterwards. They were yucking it up.
Yeah.
And Roger Moore was there telling
just telling
theater
great stories.
Yeah.
Right? Like Sam wasn't.
Come on.
Sam wasn't.
They were having a good time.
Hitting the gym too hard yet, so he could move his neck and stuff. That was good. Like they were having a good time. They were getting high and like joking about dumb Hallmark movies, and then they would go to work and do their jobs
And do it.
and it is not a good movie, but it is a fun movie.
I have a long tradition when I was younger, and then also in my adulthood, people asked me to do it, of watching bad movies to make jokes about it. Like, I've done this a lot. And she's right. You can tell when it's a good bad movie because it's when you get surprised by something so stupid and just start laughing. Like, Janine, it happened to you. You can't stop laughing because it's so ridiculous.
It's so
that
funny.
movie gave you that moment. And that is worth it. And that happened to me several times watching this. When the funky thing, when he came in, when they got married and he turned around and he was literally wearing Prince Charming drag. I could ask for nothing more.
It was a film.
It was fun.
Yeah, this film definitely understood that its audience was there. Like my critique of Dunkirk, and arguably great film.
Given me 600 guesses for
I
what
love you.
movie you were going to say next, and I would not have gotten it. I would not have gotten it.
That's hilarious.
The people who made sentence I never thought I would hear in a discussion of Christmas, A Princess 4. The people who made Dunkirk.
Well, but my critique is that they didn't give a fuck if anybody watched it. They were just like, we're making a pretty fucking film. And they did.
Harry
It was a very
Styles
pretty
cared.
fucking film.
And so did Kenneth Branagh. Here's the thing about
Like-
Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh has never not
all
cared
cared.
if someone was watching a day in his entire life. Not for a single moment.
You're right about that.
When was Kenneth
He was
Branagh
he was the one who did this.
in that movie?
Sorry, it's an oral medium. He's the one who
God.
stared at the planes coming.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it was the ships when the
Yeah.
ships were coming across the channel, and his eyes start to gleam with hope. And then that's when it cuts to the boats and Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again. If you've never seen that mashup on YouTube, it is extremely funny. Kenneth Branagh staring in wonder at the boats from Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again.
I will watch that immediately after we get out of
of
recording this.
Yeah.
great bad movies. Sometime we're going to have to watch Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again. And then I'm going to explain to you my whole philosophy behind Rotten Tomatoes, which is a different thing. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, but my critique of the Dunkirk experience is that it's a great film. It's a beautiful film. But it's fucking boring because they don't care if anybody's really watching it. This is a film where they're like, we know you're going to watch this, and we need you to stick around the entire time.
You're going to watch it anyway.
It's the Dan Brown novel of Hallmark movies because a fucking trope is landing every two pages.
Let's list our grievances on that score specifically. I am outraged that we did not get a dash to the airport.
We got a half dash.
Yeah, we didn't get him
riding in the rain.
I do
to
like
save
the
her on his
modification
horse.
of the trope that it's the servants, right? The servants who went after her.
Yeah.
But we needed like I've got to go see about a girl, right? Like we needed that. We needed, oh no, there's only one bed. They needed to be stuck in a hunting lodge. Oh no, there's only one bed because there are two outcomes.
Yeah.
Only two, and both of them are good. Outcome one.
But if
we could share if you want. I grew up with 7 brothers and sisters. I'm used to sharing a bed. And then their hands touch. And then he wakes up early and she's still asleep, right? That's outcome 1. Outcome 2, the boning is implied in the sleeping. Now, item 2.
You're right.
yeah.
He says, no, I could never. And he takes his coat and he lays it on the floor and he goes to sleep on the floor next to her bed on his coat, which is what happens in Blossom.
Kind of like
Formative. Joey and 6, man. Formative.
Or somebody actually mentioned this in Outlander when he sleeps outside her bedroom when they're in season 1. Was that season 1 or season 2? Season 1.
Season 1.
Yeah, where he rolls up his thing and he sleeps outside
Yeah.
her bedroom. It's a little bit like that.
No, we
But
didn't.
we didn't really
didn't.
get one of those. You're right.
No.
There was not a snowball
We,
fight.
We
we
did
did-
get the archery.
There was no
not
snowball
a
fight.
fucking snowball fight.
Which also I think we were missing like a muck step, like where like someone steps in mud on accident and like gets all messy and then has to deal with the fact that everyone looks so good but they're so messy.
Yes,
Like,
we
didn't
did.
get one
She
of
was looking
those
out the window and her hair
experiences.
was all. She was wearing like an ironic t-shirt and her hair was
Oh.
a way that no one's hair has ever looked in life. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We got
when
a
they
little
saw her
tiny
for the
dose.
first time through the
just
window.
a little.
So we did
However,
actually get
we
that.
didn't get
Yeah,
any.
which
oh no,
we
you've got
got-
a little frosting on your face, right? Yeah, that we
We
needed.
didn't get any of that.
I bet that one
Yeah,
was left
we
on the
did
cutting
not
room
get
floor.
that.
Because why else did
Yeah.
she make those cookies? If not to get you've got a little sprinkle
Exactly.
on your face right there. I'm sorry. I was making cookies in the kitchen.
Did you see those cookies? Did you take a gander at those motherfucking cookies? They
Oh,
were
yeah. Oh, yeah.
professionally decorated.
That's
I'm
her
like,
side
when did
hustle.
she have the fucking
You think
time
she's
to
raising
spend-
two bereaved children on the salary she makes as a quote sales girl at a failing antique shop?
What a
No, she has at least two side
a
hustles. She
dismissive
is driving for
motherfucker.
Lyft,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
she's making
And making
designer
cookies.
cookies.
Oh, and this was 2011. She's definitely fucking
No,
writing
she's not.
Groupons or something like that.
She doesn't have time to work for Groupon. Do you have any idea how many tests I had to take to write for Groupon? She doesn't have time for that. She's got two bereaved children to care for. No, she's not. She's
Maybe that's but that's why they
she's
were
trying
failing because
really
they were
hard
trying
to
to use
not get
Groupons.
talked into a multi-level marketing scheme. Because she knows it's bullshit, but God, she needs money.
And like it seems so easy.
Yeah, this movie was the exact right thing for me on this dreary Sunday when I got high as a motherfucking kite and just decided to let it be.
Let it be.
So if you're
something
ever
we
in
happen
that
to
feel,
watch this.
Five
There's
stars.
a place. There's a
5
time and a
fucking
place for a
stars.
bad movie that knows what movie it is and is having a good time about it. This is one such film.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, this film could easily make it into the annual.
Oh, I would
Christmas,
watch this again
like,
with the two of
roster,
you
I
next year
think.
in a heartbeat. In a
Yeah.
heartbeat, but in
I
person
think
and
it
even
has
more
a place
high.
there.
Yes.
Cookies,
Yes,
Agreed.
no
Cookies.
2.5s, fives.
You can come over. We can use the fireplace.
Oh my God. Get throwing Higgy.
Oh,
Getting Higgy
oh
with it.
my God! Who are you, Janine?
Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, you just made me so happy. You
I
did.
just said getting Higgy with it.
I want to fucking give you an award. Where I need
Yes.
something. Like I need to give you like the Byron Orange Top Award or something
Ooh.
like that. Like Jesus. How about
I can
this?
feel the power coursing through me. Oh my God, I'm getting a throat. Yes. I deserve it.
Anyway, yes, we should do it. And you know
Oh,
what?
God.
We should just record another episode about it because we're going to have new things to say. We are going to have
Oh,
new things
Lord.
to say. I have questions.
Oh, my
We
God.
must be knocking on 20 minutes. And I have questions. Like I said, where the hell were they? How did those parents...
No,
my God.
we still have 9 minutes
were they?
left.
We can.
How did
we
those
can
parents
forfeit
die?
Those.
What?
Yes, what
I'm
happened
assuming
to
that
Sam
it was
Hewitt?
a hot air balloon accident.
Perfect.
Yeah. He was trying to do a second proposal because he's a romantic guy, and then he ended up piercing the balloon and killing
Piercing
them
the
both.
balloon with what?
Oh my God.
The gender reveal.
Oh my
fireworks
God, they
thing.
died in a terrible gender reveal fireworks accident. Oh, but does that mean
That's
she was
what happened.
pregnant? Oh my God, no wonder they're so
No,
sad.
you know what? This explains my theory. This explains my theory about that girl child.
The doll.
That they
doll?
kept her alive until that
And
baby
the doll?
was born.
Is she in the doll? Is that why Milo
girl.
keeps decapitating the doll?
Oh my God. Is this why Milo has so many problems? Because he's literally trying to fight evil
first of all,
away from him?
He could have this many problems even if his mom and dad had just, died in a boring old usual way.
Oh.
Like a pogo stick factory fire. But But if mom was also
Just like
pregnant,
that.
that's more traumatic. And if he's also fighting an evil ghost baby trapped in the body of a truly ugly doll.
No. I think it's
Okay.
more sinister than that.
Hmm.
I think it's the little
bad
sister.
seed? It's the good son / the bad seed?
Yes, I think that there was the terrible hot air balloon accident, and then they kept that woman alive because she was already 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And then that's where the true evil came into this story. Is that little girl?
So
is
the little girl
host
is the
man.
host for what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The Eldritch Deep.
but they've
like
only
her
had
and the clown
Julie,
were in
your
on this.
chronology is
It
off.
was
They've
all
only had one
preordained.
parent-free Christmas. This is the first parent-free Christmas. Because I should also
Oh.
specify it
Yeah,
was
Well,
a
I wasn't
tragic
paying enough attention.
Christmas hot air balloon accident. It was a hot air balloon that was shaped like a wreath.
They didn't say they didn't say how old that child was.
Well, so I don't know how much you know about
Just
human
saying.
biology, Janine.
But she's a demon.
She's a demon. What we're saying is she can
Okay.
appear as she wishes.
Oh, did she kill her parents?
She's so strong. You saw what she did.
Did she cause
She
the
might
balloon
have.
accident?
I mean, just think about how much planning went into a gender reveal experience on a balloon. How could that go wrong? Because of a demon.
No, don't do gender reveal parties.
It doesn't
You're gonna
like
start more
labels.
wildfires. Yes,
Please don't.
The
You
demon
don't need to do
spirit
that.
understands that gender is a construct. Destroy heteronormative.
Exactly. No labels.
No labels.
Yeah.
And they did. And
Come
then
through.
came through to give everybody a beautiful Christmas.
I need you to know. Let's really
That was what-
briefly talk
that
about
was
some
what
of
was
the
so
moments where our
ironic
souls
by it.
left our bodies.
Yep.
My soul left my body when Roger Moore was like,
Funk
"I'm
music.
throwing a Christmas ball," and then in my head I went, "The prince is giving a ball," because you cannot throw a party of that scale on that amount of notice. You cannot. It is not possible. Also, what made you
No.
think what's really gonna
Unless
what's really
you
gonna
have the
entertain my new
magical
grandkids?
staff.
I'm going to throw a party where only adults are invited and everyone's an asshole. And then for food, we're going to have either salmon frappe and mini shrimp quiches. But you know what would be even
Also,
better?
like, they're all gonna be
Caviar.
ass-
Allergenic nightmare.
It's like they're all going to be assholes too, because not just because they're rich pricks and dicks and all that jazz, but also because it's 4 days till Christmas. They had plans. They had plans, and then
They
got
had to drop everything because G-Pa fucking Bond doesn't throw a party every day.
No, and they were like, "Oh shit! Well, G-Pop Bond will just have us killed because he has that license. We got to go.
He knows where we live.
So,
He
Grandpa
controls these
throwing a ball, my
lands."
soul left my body. When else? At what other point did your soul?
A funk dance when they were learning to waltz, and then all of a sudden she went out and changed the CD. That was a soul leaving my body moment. Like, it was sublime, hilarious, ridiculous. I couldn't believe it.
It was
And
so
yet
white.
there it was. That was
was a
my
good one.
That was my favorite moment in the entire movie.
I have one major.
Also
I
because
laughed
it's-
so hard.
Is that it would have been better if it was Groove is in the Heart.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
would've
liked
been.
that it kind of sounded like DC
Yeah,
talk shit.
But if it was Groove is in the Heart, is in the Heart is a mandatory montage song. So then we would have gotten a funk
Yes.
dancing,
Groove is in the
quote unquote,
heart.
montage. Or as Arabella put it, who
You're right.
definitely bullied me in kindergarten. She definitely did. Arabella calls it ghetto dancing.
Which is
As if we didn't already hate her. She's got perfect hate face. That casting director,
She really
firing
does.
on all cylinders, I tell you.
Yeah.
It's a great example of the Ashley Bartlett Bacon from While You Were Sleeping. The icy blonde that you just live to hate, and she's so good
also,
at being
if
hateable.
I may direct your
Ooh, it's
attention
good.
towards one of the greats of that particular trope, Singing in the Rain. Right?
Yes.
Lena Lamont. I can't stand him. I love that movie.
All right, you guys, hold on.
All right, what else?
Free skate for 2 minutes and 40
Janine.
seconds. Janine, when did your soul leave your body?
You transcend.
What does it mean when my soul left my body?
When you just couldn't believe you saw
It's
what you just
usually
saw,
accompanied by
and
something like this.
I don't know if I don't.
Like that.
Why? What? There was the minute. There was a midpoint in the movie. I just started laughing and I couldn't
Was
stop,
it
and I don't know what was
it-
happening.
Oh, we are
but
also
that happened
orphans,
twice.
because that also really sent me. Yeah, where Milo beats up an orphan.
It's just like, oh, we're also orphans. He beats up an orphan, and it's all fucking. It's like Christmas.
And poor
the
old
day
Katie
before
inside a
Christmas.
snow globe.
Looks
Yeah, it's
at
inside
that
a snow
scraggly ass
globe.
tree and brings tears to her eyes because again, she's not phoning it in. It's not a good movie and it's not a good part and it's not even a particularly good performance, but she put in the work. They all put in the work.
She put in all the goddamn work, and
I'm afraid that's true though. Like, I wish I had the experience that you guys do of seeing her doing something good, because I feel like she was putting in everything she had and it just wasn't.
I've only seen a couple moments that Allison is referring to in Supergirl, and she's.
I know
good.
that Supergirl is like super
it's had
great,
its ups
so
and
Yeah.
downs.
hopefully she is amazing.
But
she was terrible.
She
in this
was
movie.
not
But I'm-
throwing it in.
I'm with you. This was not a good.
My argument is not that it's a great
No,
performance.
she wasn't,
It's
but
my
what-
argument is that
it's
she really
a little bit
dug
worse.
deep and looked at that Christmas tree and knew that in the script this poor woman was supposed to look at this terrible tree and cry. So she just did it. She was committed. She was committed.
She found it. She dug deep. She got to the roots of the problem. Really tugged on it.
Not gross.
There were so many moments where I think they actually just repurposed
promise
a
you they
porn
did.
script. But it just felt like so many moments where they're just like, oh, just a little bit higher. Where are we doing?
There's
One,
also
two,
That
when
is true.
she-
There was a
when
lot of pretty
she
good
said-
entendre.
She said, "Oh, you're too stiff," and she said, "I mean, you're one to talk," and she was not talking about his D because they were
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
but
There was a lot of entendre. I mean, the butler's
Paisley
name was
Winterbottom.
Winterbottom.
yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
I mean,
Paisley.
Gay porn is still porn.
I mean, they had that. There was an entire orgy script storyline with the staff that happened, and like then you have
Paisley
this-
Winterbottom does sound like the name of somebody who can host
and
an
a
amazing
great
sex
brunch.
party.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
not wrong.
Porque no los dos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brunch
At the
sex
after
party.
party. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both. All right, that was
Jesus.
it. That was
Time
20
for
minutes.
closing arguments.
What an experience.
Janine, you began last time. Do you wish to begin this time as well? 1 minute.
1 minute each, right? That was
yeah.
this one?
Yes. Affirmative, dear chair people of the floor and carpets.
Go.
My time begins now. In closing arguments, we must say that the Grandpa Bond experience with a pre-Jamie chest recognizes the importance of audience, that one must realize that a film is not just a collection of pretty pictures, but is instead a collection of moments, remembrances, and memories, where one might look at a tree and then say, it's not my tree, but I see what they were going for. That is what this movie is. It's not my movie. It's not your movie. It's our movie. And
You know what?
we saw what
I
they were
yield
going
my
for.
time. I can't top that.
You know what? Neither can I. You
We
finished with
saw
3
what
seconds
they were
left,
going for.
and that was perfect. Yeah. That's it.
God, what a good epitaph.
Oh.
Frankly, if you've made a movie that could not possibly be good, there was no universe in which this movie was actually good. The highest compliment that could be paid is 3 assholes sitting in front of microphones saying, you know what? We saw what they were going for. We saw what they were going for. Thank you for listening to Podlander, Drunkcast, and Outlander podcast. I've been Allison. That's Julie. That's Janine. You can find us on Instagram at instagram.com/Podlander. No, I don't. Nobody looks at Instagram in their web browser. You can find us on Instagram at Podlandercast and Sickburn Jane and Podlander Presents. You can find us on Twitter at Podlandercast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Podlandercast. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/PodlanderDrunkcast, where you can join the Slack and watch crowdcasts, which is where we watched this. And
By the way, shout out to all our fans who were there today because there was some
oh,
great
guys, you were
jokes.
so funny.
Thank
Y'all
you
are
so much.
hilarious.
They were
Uh,
great.
so
you
funny.
can do all kinds of things, get episodes early, listen to our new bonus series, What Now? And so on. We want to thank all of our patrons who make it possible for us to do this show, but especially the following amazing folks. Just Bree. Cat's Paw. See, it's a joke because I said I was going to read it really fast, and that's a spoiler. Just Bree, Cat's Paw 156, Maddie Perkins, Dezinak, Lisa Brienne, Julia Gulia, Kathleen Martini, Lauren Tennant, Kelsey Kemp, Madison Johnson, Emily Day, Betsy English, Caitlin Reddick, Ashley Teaguson, Kristen, Freckled Fury, Laura Colma, Amelia Bazell, Liz Ann Tinkerbell, Stella Welch, Tori Halligan, Claire Feeney, Rochelle Lefevre, Amanda Smith-Zazaza, Heather Robbins, Jerry Hurdle, Emily Carlson, Amy Gustafson, Rachel Townsend, Kelly Mazzella, Chantal Salters, Mary, The Falling Statue, Viv Pickles, a.k.a. Laura, Mary of the Grapefruit, Jenna Polkowski, Ann Gibson, Ruth McCormick, Karen Marlowe, Trisha McCurry, Julie Detroit, Jen Lynn, Kelly Bond, Amanda Newton, and Kiki the Wise. I don't think we've ever ended an episode with like a boom. But you know what we're going to do right now?
Boom.